to our VP of Managed Services here at New Signature, John Kilgore.
Hey, thanks everyone. This is John Kilgore, Vice President of Managed Services here at New Signature. Thanks for everyone for joining the call today. We have about 20 minutes of content here, so just so you know, we're not going to do a PowerPoint to death. I'm sure everyone here would appreciate that. But the topic of today's webinar is going to be transforming the managed IT experience. And essentially what we're talking about here is New Signature, who is the 2015 Microsoft Partner of the Year, just announced last week, and also the 2014 Microsoft Partner of the Year for the United States. We're doing managed services, and what that means is it's proactive monitoring, maintenance, and remediation services for your IT infrastructure. So typically, the types of clients that we engage in managed services can range from customers of ours who are 2 people in size up to the 1,000 people in size, and it's essentially delivering a great IT managed experience for those customers. And there's several ways that we do that here at New Signature. So first of all, let's kind of define what we call our technology management experience. So here at New Signature, the TMX plan is a way for us to deliver full service IT management through our certified professionals who will take a standard IT organization and transform it here into a modern workplace. So there are other providers out there today who do what we do. They do call it managed services. The main differentiator between us and our competitors in the market space is essentially that we provide that modern workspace here for all of our customers. And what that means is certainly you could bring in someone that's going to keep the lights on and the oil changed in the car for your IT needs, but we're not particularly interested in just doing that. That's certainly a piece of the puzzle here for us to keep the lights running and the oil changed in your IT environment. But ultimately, we want to be able to use technology for your workforce and leverage that modern workplace. That includes things like cloud storage, Office 365, leveraging cloud computing, allowing your users to the BYOD model. They can use iPads, they can use their Surface laptops, they can use any device that they want to access IT resources moving forward. But at the same time, technology is just a piece of that. And New Signature as a whole, we're a customer service company first, right? And the way we do that is we want to be a great company to do business with for our clients and our suppliers. We only provide, white glove superior services. We foster the client communication and provide, a great customer service experience to everyone involved. And at the same time, we want to educate our clients on upcoming technologies and the way that they're approaching the marketplace. So, some Microsoft surveys that were studied, about 2 years ago. I know the quote here is a little dated. It says that, 68% of consumers think the use of modern technology is critical to the success of a business. And more than 90% of consumers said that they would consider taking their business elsewhere rather than working with a company that uses outdated technology. So just here internally here at New Signature, one of the ways that we attract great talent here is that we're able to utilize the best breed products, specifically from Microsoft, so that when we're attracting new potential hires, they're able to take a look at the technology stack that we use, and they know that they can use any device they wish. They have the capability to work remotely. They have the capability to work at flexible hours, right? Because the technology supports that. So often people come to us and they say, why would we do New Signature's, managed services plan over a competitor? And really the value add here is that, we're looking for continuous feedback. When we first enter into an engagement with one of our clients, we're running a 0-day feedback through staff surveys to get an idea of the landscape of how satisfied people are really with the technology and the support of the technology there within their current environment before we even step foot in the door. That positions us to be able to provide a much better experience by, through those staff surveys, shoring up those details that perhaps the staff has some additional needs that maybe not being delivered on in the current IT environment, whether that's a technology piece or a customer service piece. The other side of this is here at New Signature, we have no tier 1 support only. we have dedicated client teams. So when we engage with our clients here, you're specifically assigned to a team of 6 to 8 individuals that you will speak with, that you will have direct access to 24 hours a day, and you will talk to those 6 to 8 individuals through the life of your relationship with New Signature. Now, certainly you have the ability to access our executive leadership at any time and direct access to all of the managers. But the main differentiator is that when you have a problem, you're going to get a familiar voice on the line. It's not going to be calling into a call center. I know so many times, specifically in personal lives, I know that when you have a problem with technology, perhaps you call into your vendors for support, and you may speak to one person one time, and then it could be one of the many thousand people that are sitting there that answer your call. And there's no consistent customer experience there. There's no compelling experience for you to call back in for support. So we found out a long time ago that if we had dedicated client teams to our managed services customers, it was a much better experience than calling into a tier 1 help desk. And on those client teams, we'll talk about that a little bit, but we'll talk about the expertise that's on those teams. And again, every single one of those people on the teams that support our managed services customers under our managed services TMX plan are certified Microsoft individuals. So we also have, the commitment to the transformative technology. Again, you may have that aging server that's inside of your network, or, folks are within your organization talking about virtualization or cloud computing. We want to also take that commitment to providing you a transformative experience so that your employees have a great IT experience. And then one of the final additional value adds here for managed services is our monthly online training sessions. So once a month for an hour in a similar situation like this, like a webinar, we hold monthly online trainings that are specific to our managed services TMX customers only. That can range in topic from here is Exchange Online, here's how you use Outlook, right? The topic the next month may be something surrounding Microsoft OneDrive and how you can leverage OneDrive to access documents and edit documents from anywhere. It may be, something surrounding SharePoint Online and how to collaborate in a team site, in a team environment. But we change the topic every month, and we allow as many folks as you would like to attend that. So, we send out a single invite to our point of contact there at our managed services customer, and then they can distribute that to as many people who might have an interest in the actual monthly online training. So let's talk about what's included in our TMX plans. First of all, we talked a lot about the customer service and being dedicated to deliver that exceptional customer service. Now let's get a little bit into the actual nuts and bolts of how we manage the IT infrastructure. So one of those is maintenance. So we include provisioning all of your users. We maintain an asset inventory of all your IT assets. We take care of all the patching. That includes Microsoft patching and third-party patching. We provide you with online backups, and we do all the device management that you would need for all of your devices in your network. Security is also a pretty big concern as well for most organizations. We provide, access and management of your firewall and maintaining all the firewall rules. We also provide you with an antivirus and an anti-malware product, which we actually go and install on every one of your devices so that we can manage the actual antivirus, intrusion detection and whatnot. We also provide monitoring services included in TMX as well. And those items that we do monitor are PCs, we monitor Macs, we monitor iPads, we monitor Android tablets or phones if you want us to, and all of your Windows servers. And when we're talking about monitoring, a great example of this actually just happened this last weekend. We had a customer of ours that they had a virtualization host within their environment that went down at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. Just so happens the building decided to shut down power for about an hour to perform some emergency maintenance. We actually got alerted at 2 o'clock in the morning. It paged our 24/7 staff that's available. They went in, they took a look, and they were able to shut down all of the servers in enough time so that there was no degradation of data involved. Typically in an in-house IT environment, there's always someone that's on call, but then you're depending on one single point of failure. And then in this case, we have, a team of individuals who are responsible for responding to those after hours alerts. And at the same time, it allows us to do proactive type monitoring. So another example that we run into quite often is, a file server that's on premise starts to fill up, right? And people are unable to save documents. We can actually take a look at that trending analysis of seeing, hey, we're adding, about this much data per week, per month, per year. Here's the capacity planning for the next 6 months. And in 8 months from now, you guys are going to run out of space on your server. Let's proactively think about this so that we're able to come up with a plan to mitigate any future issues. And then finally, there's the remediation piece. Things always go wrong in technology environments, right? Whether that's troubleshooting a Microsoft application, troubleshooting an operating system, doing configuration details. We take care of all of that, and there's several different ways to reach us to do that. We can do that by phone, we can do that by email, and we also federate our online chat tenancy, which in this case is Skype for Business, to where you can chat directly with any person on your assigned team. So a lot of times people have the inclination not to pick up the phone whenever there's a very, very small problem. We found that one of the quickest ways for remediation was that, hey, I'm going to send you an IM really quickly and ask you a question. Should my computer be slow right now? And sending that note into over IM to one of your team members, they can quickly approach a subject, take a look, and say, you know what, actually there is something going on. Let me notify some additional people or reach out to you on the phone. There's a great benefit to being able to do that in real time. One of the other things is we do vendor management. So all of the vendors that you may have for your IT infrastructure, that includes your internet service provider, it includes your phone company, it may include some other vendors that you have, in particular maybe some line of business applications. We do vendor management for you, and we actually do vendor reviews as well. So as you're approaching maybe an end of contract date with your internet service provider, we can assist you in making sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck when it comes up time for renewal. We also do, the typical virus and malware recovery, which seems to happen despite, our best efforts and everyone's best efforts in an IT environment. Sometimes you just can't control those things, but, we're available to help do that, of course. And then we also do mobile device management. We have the ability to take a look at your mobile devices and segment corporate data from personal data. That's a great product released free of charge if you're an Office 365 subscriber through Microsoft. That allows us to do mobile device management. So we can do things like wipe all corporate data from a personal device. We can wipe just email. We can make sure that any documents that were stored perhaps on a mobile device, whether that's a phone or a tablet or even a PC or laptop, can be secured so that in the event of a departure of an employee, we can actually secure all of that data. So again, just kind of recapping here, we provide, that exceptional customer service, that 24/7 remote support. Again, we have, no tier 1 teams. We have dedicated, teams that are, varying in skills and certifications. We provide those ongoing staff surveys to all of your staff. We do 100% certified engineers on a team that you would be assigned to. The nice part is you also get a direct dial to our entire leadership team, so myself included, and also our president and our CIO and our CTO. We do that monthly remote training for all of your staff. And we also have an on-call virtual CIO. So this would be a person dedicated to your environment that would know 100% of your environment, that would be able to serve in that virtual CIO model, right? So if you had maybe not technical questions, but you had strategy questions, they're going to be up to speed on what your environment looks like today, what your goals are, what your budgets are, if you wanted to discuss that with them, and help you develop things that'll help you move up the IT food chain. And here's the additional piece. A lot of times other managed service providers say, well, we want to install, a laptop for every one of your employees. so they can work remotely. But yes, they'll also need that desktop in the office, or someone adds an iPad and you have to go back to a managed service provider and they say, okay, well that's going to cost you an extra $200 per month to add that device to your contract. We found a long time ago we want people to be able to utilize technology on any device they want and as many devices as they want within reason. So what we did was we decided to include support of up to 5 devices per user. So me, for example, I have my laptop that is here sitting right in front of me. I also have an Android tablet that I use at home to check my email or edit some documents. And I also have my mobile device, which just happens to be an Android phone that I use to view my email and look at documents as well. Under a managed services plan, those are only 3 devices. I could then add 2 additional ones to help me utilize technology in my space. Right, and that could be a mix of different devices. It can be Windows devices, it can be Android devices, it could be a Windows phone, it could be Android phone, it could be an iPhone, it could be an iPad. We don't particularly care what devices people are using to be able to utilize the technology. But that's a great value add. So if you have people that perhaps prefer to work on a Mac, then we have no problems with that at all. We're going to support them in the same capacity that we would a Windows user and still deliver that exceptional customer service. So some of the milestones and the deliverables that we have in the the TMX plans here at New Signature are, we've broken them out into what we call transformational services and operational services here. So transformational services are really what's going to provide the best bang for your buck here in the managed services plans. So, at day 0 and at day 30 and at day 90, we're providing that user survey. In addition to providing that milestone user survey, whenever we close an incident with our customers, we always try to send a user survey. And we're also open to not sending surveys at all. Some people prefer that, and they only prefer to get them once a month. But we like to be able to benchmark exactly how we're doing. And one of the great things about this is that sometimes users, they tend to provide feedback when things are bad, and we understand that. Or maybe they're not ideal. And the thing is we actually take those extremely seriously. Anytime we get a survey that is less than perfect, we're going to be placing a call to that end user or the point of contact to find out why. And that call comes from an executive member of New Signature. It's pretty rare that I have to make those calls, but I actually want to make those calls. I want to make sure we're delivering a great customer experience to all the end users out there. So you can expect the executive attention should their user survey come back and it not be ideal. We talked about the training, which is offered every single month, and that's a transformational service. We also provide an assessment, right? So we come in and we take a look at your entire IT environment, and we say, this is good, this is okay, this is bad, this needs to change, this doesn't need to change, based on how your users are utilizing technology today. That assessment is completely included in all of our plans. And then maybe out of that assessment, there's some transitional projects that need to be talked about. So, let's say we come in and you have a, Exchange 2003 server, and it's probably time to start planning for a transitional project to something more modern. We assist in those transitional projects and planning those for you and laying those out. Kind of on the operational side, though, at day 0, we're going to have that, external kickoff with, the executive staff here at New Signature, and as well as, anyone else you would like to have on your end as well. We also perform an asset inventory at day 10, so we're going to be providing you a count of everything that you have in your asset inventory, and we do that through monitoring and management. We also do a 6-month review as well to take a look and see, is TMX working for you? Is there something that we could be doing better, right? And then also we have accounting reviews at day 30 and day 90, right? So your accounting team can be happy as well, so there's no surprises with charges. So this is an example here of one of our teams that we have here at New Signature. We have quite a few number of teams, but this is a great example. So, one of the directors of the teams here would be Sean Close. He's an MCI TP. That's a Microsoft certified technology professional. That means he's had to go through quite a few number of certifications to actually reach that. But some of the roles on the teams, for example, Sean leads a team here. One of the assistant team leads here is Percy Harris. He's also an MCITP. We also have senior consultant, Peter Day, who's also an MCITP and a Microsoft certified training specialist as well. We also engage an account manager, an engagement manager. This example, Tony is one of the PMP certified engagement managers that helps with those transitional projects. We also have, 3 additional consultants on the team. For example, AJ, she's an MCSA. We have Michael Sawyer, who's also an MCITP, and we also have Roxanne, who's also a MCITP as well. We tend to move people through the senior consultant roles here at New Signature fairly quickly. We expect our consultants to be at a senior level within 3 years, but usually our teams are pretty well mixed with, senior role folks and directors. But again, when the phone rings, any one of these people can respond to that request, whether it's that phone call, it's that IM request, or it's an email. So again, I said before, several ways to contact your dedicated team. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by phone, by email, by chat. We're also available to come on site. We're more than happy to come on site and visit with folks all the time. Typically on-site support is not part of the TMX plans, but we certainly are happy to accomplish that under separate contracts. Our executive leadership here, you have access to it, and people often say, well, why would I need access to New Signature's executive leadership? And one of the times that this has actually happened in the past is, there is always a question of, how do we take care of a line of business application that perhaps does our accounts receivable and accounts payable, right? That's not necessarily a technology question a lot of times. I mean, there's a lot of technology products out there that do that. I mean, we'll have customers, we'll set up a call, with our chief operating officer, Dave Charlton, and Dave will be able to chat with, your point of contact there that, is maybe looking at future accounting packages and be able to provide his executive leadership and a second set of eyes and a second set of ears to talk through and say, this is my experience here, working with, perhaps this vendor or this vendor or this vendor. And here's where, based on your business plan and your business model, I would advise you to look into, right? And then we can certainly support that from a technology perspective, but we want to give you access to our executive leadership who's also seasoned in the technology space as well. A lot of times I get a call and it's something surrounding, we're looking at bringing on, an additional resource here to be able to handle, some of the small things that we have here in-house that necessarily New Signature, is doing a great job at today, but maybe we like to save some cost and bring, someone in-house to take care of, a few things. I get a call a lot of times that says, hey, can you help us find someone? Can you help interview? We don't know how to find an IT person that maybe can perhaps just do, stuff with the desktops, on site. And I've been engaged in that capacity before, and I'm more than happy to help, and that's included here in our TMX plans. So we also have sampled, a few sample deliverables here of things that we give to you each and every week and annually and also every 6 months. We're going to be taking a look annually at how much of our time is spent doing reactive type things, like something is broken, versus being proactive, which is something might break. Let's take a look at this before it actually breaks. We take all of the capacity that we have here internally and how we track all of those things that come in. And we tend to try to be extremely proactive versus being really reactive. That's the goal here. We would rather you be engaging with an IT vendor like New Signature and be extremely proactive, and we can spend all of our time making sure that everything is never going to break rather than fixing things, right? We break that all out in several different reports for you each year. We also, provide the, 30, 60, 90 day plans, as well as, 365 day plans for you for your IT. We help you do IT budgeting as well if you need that. But one of the nice touches we do is we provide a weekly email update, and that's a summary of everything that has gone on in your IT environment for that week. A lot of times it has a summary progress report that talks about, these were the cases that were open this week. Here's what we did on them. Here was perhaps the resolution. Here's some key accomplishments that we made this week to bring your environment to a more transformative experience. And here's perhaps things that are on the roadmap for the next 6 months, and here's the timeline on those. And naturally, we're going to provide you the system health status. How's your network really performing, right? So here, we'll just get right into pricing real quick. It's a very extremely simplified model for us. We charge under this $125 a user per month, and that includes up to 5 managed devices. If you do have servers within your environment, which some folks usually have 1, maybe up to 5, maybe 50, those are charged at $275 a server per month. We do have a minimum monthly commitment of $2,000, and it's only a 1-year contract. So a good example here is an organization who has 20 users and 5 servers. If we do the math at the end of the day, the total monthly spend is around $3,600, and that's going to get you a team of individuals. A lot of times people say, well, I should probably just take this in-house. It might be about the same amount of money, maybe a little more expensive for us to bring someone in-house. But the main difference is that the expertise required to run a business that is, let's say, under 250 people requires several different types of talent. You're required to have a network person. You're required to have an application expert. You're required to have a server expert. You're required to have a switch expert. And frankly, finding people that can do all of those in one, we would love to hire them here at New Signature. I'll be honest with you. They're pretty rare folks to be able to find this type of people. People tend to specialize. So what we've taken is the approach of providing you with an entire team of individuals, right, that do have expertise in all of those areas, but they're also generalists in some ways and jack of all trades. But you're able to leverage any one of our experienced professionals here at New Signature that can execute on perhaps one of those specified technologies. Just, some testimonials here real quick from some of our TMX customers and managed services customers. From Occasions Caterers, couldn't ask for a better vendor relationship and a partnership for the company. From the Center of American Progress, and we've consistently proven that we have the people, the systems, and the best practices and processes to make projects happen as well. So that's the other piece of the puzzle, is that we have an entire team that is experienced in delivering projects into the technology space, and we also assign project managers. So if you're thinking about doing an IT project down the road, I mean, that's a lot of different moving parts, and we tend to take care of that for you. So a real quick appendix before we jump to some questions of what's included inside of a TMX plan, kind of the small pieces here. We do the end-to-end management of all your Windows servers, including monitoring, operating system patching, Microsoft application patching, and any configuration changes and troubleshooting you might have on those servers. We also do end-to-end management of all your PCs, your Mac OS X machines, and we do third-party application patching. So I'm sure everyone on this call here at some point has seen that lovely Java update pop down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. We take care of all that for you. We also do changes and troubleshooting of Microsoft Office suite applications, so Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and everything that's in the Office suite. We provide, a software and a hardware asset inventory report, so we can provide you with information of, the age of your machines, what it looks like if you wanted to cycle some out or cycle some in. We also provide virus and malware recovery due to any infection incidents. We provide unlimited online backup of a designated file share on one of your Windows servers. So if you have a file share that sits in-house today, we can back that up online, and that's included in the cost of TMX. We also provide an annual IT audit and strategic recommendations. We also do provisioning and deprovisioning of users, right? So if you have someone that's coming on board, we'll be happy to get them spun up on the appropriate systems. Again, the vendor management piece for your internet service provider and other vendors that relate to IT. We do management of your mobile devices if you want us to. Some people don't want us to manage mobile devices, but we include iOS, Windows, and Android devices in that. And we manage email connectivity to their corporate email. We also, if needed, there's a problem with a particular device, we provide the courier service to send devices to and from New Signature. We cover the cost of that. So if you have a problem with a particular laptop, we will pay to have it couriered to the New Signature office. We also provide antivirus and anti-malware protection. It's installed. So we provide the product itself on all your servers, all of your Windows PCs, and all of your Macs. We provide end-to-end management of all your network devices, including monitoring, configuration changes, and troubleshooting. And when I say network devices, that includes routers, includes switches, it includes firewalls, all of those things. We provide you those weekly status updates. And again, the big play here is that it's up to 5 managed devices per user. And we don't particularly care what device that is. We want them to be able to utilize the device that best fits their technology needs. And then outside of the TMX plan, there are some additional services that we can execute on. We're certainly available to execute on any of these. So the additional services that aren't included in TMX but are available are on-site support and travel. Some companies choose for us to dedicate some time on-site, perhaps once a week or once a month. To do a walkthrough. We're happy to help support that.